And then we watched a very weird, not a Charlie Chaplin movie, a Charles Chaplin movie.
In The Pilgrim, his directing credit was Charles Chaplin as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still feel like that is a distinction, that this isn't a Charlie Chaplin picture.
Yeah.
Because he isn't in it.
The two faces of this man are Charlie and Charles.
Yeah. This is the first movie he directed that he isn't in, I think. And maybe the only one. And it's not a comedy. It's a drama. It does star Edna Purviance, which is like his frequent co-star.
Yeah.
And it's a very dramatic movie. It's very serious.
Yeah. I mean, I think like it has a card at the beginning of it, which is Charlie Chaplin saying, "Hey y'all, I'm not in this movie. Don't look for me in this movie."
Yeah. I mean, he is technically in the movie. He has a cameo.
Yeah.
I didn't spot it, but
you couldn't see his face very clearly in the cameo. But he says, "I'm not in this movie. This is not a comedy movie. Understand that I'm trying to get more breadth as an artist.
I'm trying to create drama."
And it is like,
it was better than I thought it would be.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, it has these issues of being like, I'm known for comedy, so when I do drama, I have to do drama.
Yeah, it's like he might be overcorrecting a little bit at times, where it's like, it's a very serious, dramatic film.
Yeah. And there are some light moments in it. There are a couple like mild laughs in it.
Yeah.
But it's really like a guy's loading up a gun, so you know he's gonna shoot himself.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I feel like a thing that I felt about Woman in Paris and Little Old New York both is they're both very kind of like talky movies. Mm-hmm. Before talkies were really a thing.
A lot dialogue heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people in rooms talking to each other. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that just inherently doesn't quite work as well in silent movies as like the wacky comedies that we've seen, or the like German expressionist horror stuff.
Why do you say that? What makes you say that?
I just feel like those feel like they're really embracing a certain type of storytelling, in that I feel like Foolish Wives, I feel like kind of falls into the thing too of like, if it's relying too much on just like people sitting and talking, mm-hmm. it drags, and it feels, maybe this is just my modern, sensibilities talking. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like there's moments in Woman of Paris that work really well, and they're all like visual things, like not dialogue.
There's some really nice compositions in that movie.
But like, there's maybe my favorite part of the whole movie is there's the bit where, so in the beginning of the movie, Edna Purviance's character,
Marie. Yeah.
She's trying to kind of like run away from home with this guy, Jean. And
I just kind of assumed that they were like American, and then they said, we're going to take a train to Paris. And then I was like, and then like, are they British? And then
everyone in this movie's French.
Yeah, it's all they're in the French countryside, but not Paris.
But so then she ends up taking the train without him and leaving him behind. That too is a very good example of like good visuals, where like you don't actually see the train pulling in, you just see the sort of like shadow of the train in front of her face.
Much less expensive.
Yeah, very much so. But so then they end up meeting years later in Paris and like reconnecting, and she hires him to paint a portrait of her. Mm-hmm. And she has this fancy dress that she's wearing for the portrait. And as he's painting, he's like, don't look at it. Like, wait till it's done. Can't look at it. And then she peeks at, like, takes the sheet off of it and looks before it's done. And it's her in the clothes that she was wearing when she left on the train and left him behind.
Yeah.
And just that thing...
They were to be wed.
Right. Just that thing of her taking the sheet off and revealing it and reacting.
Yeah.
Is a great moment in the movie, and is like a very charged, impactful scene.
Yeah.
That is relying entirely on just like the reveal of this painting.
True. Yeah. I mean, I will say, I think that my modern brain, when we talk about like a dialogue heavy movie, mm-hmm. my modern brain, I have a cursed modern brain, but it might be working in a slightly different way. Whereas I feel like when something goes too long without a title card, my mind can kind of lose focus a little bit, you know? Like title cards, having to like hop between looking at something and reading something, like it keeps me a little active, you know? So I don't actually mind it when there's a lot of title cards.
That's a good point. And I don't want to say that there's like, these are inherently worse movies or anything like that. It's just a thing that I've noticed. Maybe I just tend to enjoy the ones that are a bit more reliant on like just purely visual stuff.
Yeah. And Charlie Chaplin knows how to do visual stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and he also knows how, like, visual storytelling. Like, there is a decent amount of scenes where you don't know what people are saying, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, like, also has a lot of dialogue. I will say, I know what you're talking about with the extreme amounts of dialogue, because sometimes there will be a scene where not a lot's happening, but a lot of dialogue has to happen.
Yeah.
And so you're spending half the time, like, reading. Like, you know, it shows the characters for a second, then shows the title card, then shows them for, like, another second, then shows the title card. Because they need to, like, just chew through a bunch of dialogue.
Right, yeah.
Which I guess is what you're talking about.
We're not really being able to, but like you can't really watch the characters listen as much and react to stuff. So it's like it
breaks it up a little.
It breaks it up, and I feel like it makes those scenes feel longer because it is you have to show someone talking, cut to the intertitle of what they said, and then show the reaction. Whereas if it was done with sync sound, it would be you could do it in half the length and still achieve the same effect.
Which I might have pointed this out before, but that's one of the things that I think is really cool about the animated movies at this time, is that they are able to have when people are talking or animals are talking in these animated shorts, they can just show the text on screen right in front of them, so they don't have to stop everything to do that.
There's occasional use of text on screen in live action stuff, but less so. I didn't think it's really almost ever used for dialogue. Like Caligari had some of that, and the Golem did.
Yeah, the Golem was just like an incantation. It was more of an effect than like
pretty much
like something to get dialogue across.
True. I don't know, I thought this movie was Woman of Paris is really interesting, just in that it's like it is like a Charlie Chaplin movie, but it is so different from the rest of his work.
Yeah,
purposefully.
Yeah,
and like I don't know. I thought it was very fascinating watch for that reason.
It was fascinating, and you know, I mean, I don't know. I liked it a lot. I think that this is my favorite thing that I've seen so far today. I thought it just worked really well. It, unlike other movies that worked really well, it did that we've seen. It didn't have any like icky stuff in it, you know.
I mean, I feel like the closest thing it comes to that is like it gets a little bit into like what is like a woman's place kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it feels like
I forgot about that.
It is, I think, kind of pushing against that. Like, I think it's for a Charlie Chaplin movie from 1923. It's maybe could be considered feminist, even if it wouldn't be now.
I mean, I think, you know, it is. It's about. I mean, the main character is this person who was like basically escaping an abusive dad.
Yeah.
And she, as a result, has become a bit of like a flighty person. Like, I feel like these people have like a lot of interiority in this movie, which is good. Like I think it's like, it's understanding that her flightiness like hurts other people, but also like she's like entitled to it in a way. Like she is like when she's about to like kind of make her grand elopement to Paris with Jean, and then, you know, he has like this kind of hiccup in the plan, and she's like, I'm going to Paris, you know. Like, it's, you can understand what's going on for her, you know. And I think the movie has a lot of sympathy for her.
It's really only at the very end when it's just sort of like, she's like, I just want to be a mother. I'm going to adopt a bunch of kids.
I think she's confused, honestly, in that moment.
But it's like, that's the only thing in it that I was sort of like, I don't know, this is maybe a little bit...
Yeah, I know.
I think the movie is trying to present the character of Marie as someone who is like not conforming to like usual like female gender roles and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it totally succeeds.
It's yeah. I mean, you know, it was made by someone who married a 16-year-old.
Yeah, more than once.
So, you know, it's not going to be perfect along those lines. But you know, if we're talking about you know, a third wave, fourth wave feminism type thing, which is way off from where Charlie Chaplin is. But if we're to look at it through that lens, you know, that like her wanting to be kind of like a I don't know, like a solo type person who you know, is with men, like who's like, you know, with men in this kind of like loose way, hopping from...
She's like basically dating this like wealthy Frenchman.
Yeah.
Pretty much just so that he can like buy her lots of stuff and take her to parties and like... Right. She's living a lavish lifestyle, but you like these two people do not really care about each other very much. Like they're both kind of using each other for like social reasons.
Right, but they're both kind of fine with it.
Yeah.
And like she doesn't feel any, you know, she feels, I think, valid in doing that. And you know, if we're to look at it through that lens, like it's also valid if she wants to have kids. This is a new revelation at that moment, right? But it's like, it's a valid way of going through her life. And I don't know if the movie, you know, it's complicated. I don't know if the movie like comes down on any side, whether the movie thinks one is right and one is wrong.
Well, I mean, I like how at the end of the movie, right, we see her with all these kids and we assume that she has like married a man and like had a bunch of children. And then one of the kids is like, Mom, father's here. And then a priest walks in.
Yeah.
Which is a great gag.
She got thee to a nunnery.
Yeah. And then we find out that all these children are either she's like looking after them or they're adopted. That is, I guess, a little bit unclear.
I think she's like working like in a church, like helping children. Basically.
But I like how she doesn't end up like married with a bunch of children at the end. Like I like how it's she doesn't like, you know, fall into that.
I mean, there's a lot of trauma that happens in this movie, you know, and I think that like a lot of her love life gets a little too like wrapped up in horrors for her to like.
It's a very like melodramatic movie for sure. It has there were some funny bits though. Like he still slipped a couple.
Yeah, there was a part in the kitchen that had some stinky food.
Yeah, there was someone ashing a cigarette into a saxophone,
a tiny saxophone. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really like emotionally nuanced movie. Honestly, like if you get back past the fact, like if I didn't know this was directed by Chaplin, you know. And I didn't feel like it was trying to prove itself and just like taking it as it is, I would say this is a fantastic movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. There is, I'm completely forgetting her name. There's a real person that Charlie Chaplin dated for a while that this movie might be kind of based on / inspired by. Who was a sort of, she was like involved in show business, but was kind of just famous for being famous.
A socialite.
Socialite, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, there's an episode of You Must Remember This about her and sort of like how partially about how this movie might be like Charlie Chaplin sort of working through stuff about that relationship or just sort of like her as a person inspiring this story partially.
Yeah. And if we were to go back to Charlie Chaplin's potential issues as a person and
too much
sexism. I mean, as this movie was being introduced to us, they were talking about how, you know, Edna Purviance has been his kind of like leading lady, basically his entire career, pretty much.
Yeah, up until this point in his career.
Up until this point, and the reason that this movie got made was because he was basically like, I think that, or at least you know what they were telling us is that like he was like the tramp character. Like needs to be in love with sweet young ladies.
Yeah, an ingenue.
And Edna, you're getting too old for
Yeah.
this, basically. Which
Not-
is
not-
really...
Not a great look for old Charles.
It's not a great look. It's a little harsh.
Yeah.
This movie was him trying to do that in a nice way and say, I still care about you. I still want to help you. You're my friend, right?
Yeah.
But like, the tramp can't be, you're getting too old to be the tramp's love interest. So we're going to like help you get into a dramatic movie career.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be a dramatic director at times also, you know? So let's usher you out of the Chaplin world with something dramatic and try and like reframe you this way.
Mm-hmm.
And
didn't work.
it, for some reason, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think she's really good in this movie.
Yeah, me too.
And, you know, when they were framing this, they were like, Edna Pariance was good at reacting to Charlie Chaplin. And I'm like, she does so much more in this movie than she has done in any other Chaplin stuff I've seen.
Definitely.
Like, she's just there a lot of the time.
I mean, she is the lead of the movie.
Yeah.
Which she definitely isn't in any of the...
But she gets more to work with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the female character in a lot of these Keaton, Lloyd, Chaplin movies... It's usually someone who's just there.
Right.
And they're not, like, actually getting to do much comedic stuff.
I'm someone who's there to the point where they usually don't have a name.
Right.
They're usually the girl.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, who says that she's pigeonholed as a comedic actress? Like, she's not even doing anything comedic, you know? She's just in comedy movies. And then when she's in this drama, I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, I don't know what necessarily I think this movie got like a positive response when it came out, but it was also like people were like, it's good, but do more funny stuff, kind of.
Right. Make us laugh, clown.
Yeah. Which is kind of too bad because I do think Edna Pariance is very good in as a dramatic lead in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.